But I'm also really passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself, but the time is going to pass regardless. And what the hell else are you going to do about it? Because sitting around feeling sorry for yourself does nothing. Trust me, I tried that. This is this is not a topic I'm very comfortable discussing. I really try to be nice to everybody. I honestly try to see the best in everybody. But you know what the big drawback to that is? I project. I decide that somebody's a good person, and no matter what kind of, excuse me, bullshit they show me, if I really for whatever reason have decided that you're a good person, it takes me a while to figure out that you're really not a good person. And it's even harder when it's somebody that I had a really unpleasant encounter today with somebody that I think very highly of. But you know what? The unpleasantness, it's always been there. It's always been an undercurrent in our relationship. It's always been a big deterrent to our relationship because I know what they're like. I know what I'm in for. And it sucks because on one hand, this is somebody who can be the most kind, amazing, big-hearted person until they're not. And they choose not to be quite often. It's just frustrating. You see somebody who's just brilliant and they have so much to offer and they choose to be ugly. But I really allowed it to upset me and I was like, I can't I got to get a grip. I thought I had a little bit of a handle on my anxiety until last week. I had a 7.5 hour power outage and that caused a ton of anxiety and I had issues with a freaking crazy neighbor that caused me a lot of anxiety. And then today I had to deal with unpleasantness and it really ramped up my anxiety. So let's talk about dealing with unpleasant people because there's no avoiding it. This information is from I am and company or iamandco.com. So when you're dealing with unpleasant people, first take a deep breath. I seriously had to tell it was my fault. I reacted. I didn't respond. And I got really pissed off. Not that it mattered, but I got really pissed off. And I had to tell myself, you need to take a few deep breaths. You need to take a few deep breaths because that gives you space. It's going to calm you down. It's going to calm down the physiological response. And that's going to help you calm down emotionally. That's going to allow you to take a little bit of a step back and respond in a thoughtful manner instead of doing what I did and just flying off the handle and reacting emotionally. Look, it doesn't matter how valid your points are. If you can't control your emotions, you're not the winner in the situation. Speaking of your emotions, that's point number 2. You have to acknowledge your emotions. How did that feel? How did you feel when that person unloaded on you, when they blew up at you? How did you feel about that? Were you hurt? Were you pissed? Were you just really taken aback? I was taken aback. And then I got pissed. But you know what? All of those, they're all valid emotional responses to somebody being a jackass to you. They are. And if you can learn to really, I've talked about this a little bit. I need to get back into the lessons I was learning about this. But our emotions, most of us don't really analyze them. We don't really pay attention. We know that something's unpleasant. This is an unpleasant emotion, but really, how are you feeling? Are you hurt? Are you just really, do you just want to go crawl under a desk and into a dark closet and hide? Or are you mad? You want to go burn the world down? Or are you just completely shocked? You have to recognize what you're feeling. And the more you can understand how you respond in those situations, the easier it's going to be for you to learn how to navigate them and for you to let that shit go. Excuse my language. You gotta let it go and move on. Number 3, don't internalize. Now, this is where I really struggle, but you can't let mean people affect your sense of self-worth because when someone mistreats you, honestly, it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't. It has everything to do with them and how they view their place in the world. And a lot of times people are really I'm not but the people who are the biggest jackasses, they're the most hurt. They're the ones carrying around a lot of emotional trauma. You need to understand when someone's really even when they're just really, really mean to you, it feels personal, don't it? I always take it really personal, but it's not. It really has very little to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Number 4, I faltered with this one too. You need to remember, you need to understand that you have a choice. You choose. I choose if I'm going to be upset or angry about what somebody did. Look, we can't control what other people do, obviously, but we can learn to take that emotional step back and learn how to respond to BS instead of just reacting to it. Try not to play into it like I did today, but try not to play into it. Being mean to someone, if someone's being really awful to you and you're awful back, what does that solve? Nothing. It just proves that you're capable of being ugly. Well, guess what? So is everybody. So big damn deal. You've proven nothing. All you've done is roll down around in the gutter with the crappy person. Why are you letting them do that to you? And I know that's a lot easier said than done, but don't play into it. But on the other hand, don't be a doormat. You got to stand up for yourself. People treat us how we allow it. If you don't like the way people are treating you, you probably better start setting some boundaries with people. Number 5, you need to accept that this person, they're not going to change. Like I said a minute ago, these people, the people who run around and they're just really mean and nasty all the time, they're unhappy people. They're unhappy people because they have a lot of crap that they're dragging around internally that they, for whatever reason, can't or won't let go of. You're not going to change that. Most people that are like that, they don't give a damn if you're upset about it. Oh, you're gonna sit there and cry about it? Good. That's their attitude. Why would you get don't give them that satisfaction. Accept that they're not gonna change. Limit your exposure as much as you can. But when you have to be exposed to them, try, and I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard, but you need to try to respond with empathy and compassion because these are really hurt people and they're just lashing out. And the benefit bonus, this is my personal opinion on it. You know what's the best thing about mean people? They show you who you don't want to be. They teach you a lot about behaviors you don't want to emulate. Thank them for that lesson. Bless them for the lesson. Let it go and move on. Again, you got to limit your time with people who don't lift you up. I'm actually I think I mentioned this the other day, but I'm really starting to take a look at the people in my life and I'm about to start dropping the hammer, so to speak, because I'm tired of other people trying to bring me down. Y'all, dealing with all this health crap, I'm up to here, just keeping my own head above water. My chin's barely above the water's edge. I don't need someone else's bullshit. I don't need your drama. I don't need your moods and your temper and whatever garbage you've got. I don't need it. So I've said for years that I have a litmus test when it comes to other people. And if you don't lift me up, bye. I don't got time for your shit. But I do project. I do tend to see the best in people, even when I shouldn't. And as a result of that, I have ended up with people in my life that I need to take a step back from. I'm not going to be ugly about it. I'm just going to take a big step back. And when I do have to deal with them, it's going to be just some pretty no, that's not a topic for conversation. If you want to be ugly, then this conversation is over. Have a nice day. Click. I'm done. don't want to do it anymore. I have enough of my own crap to deal with. Y'all need to sort your own shit out. Anyway, it's been a day. It's just the last like week or so has been really just weird and crazy. A lot of weirdness from other people. I can't control them. I've got to learn how to control myself. I've got to stop responding. I've got to stop reacting emotionally and learn how to take that step back. I reacted very emotionally today. I was very childish. I'll own it. I'm not proud of it. Although I gotta admit it felt good at the time. It really did. But as soon as I hung up the phone, I was like, oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have given in to that impulse. Anyway, that's all I have. That's all I have for tonight. I hope you guys have a great night. You have any questions, drop me a line on Twitter. I try to be very responsive. Um, if I don't catch it the first time, please just hit me up again. I really like to answer questions. I'm definitely not an expert on this because it's something I really struggle with. But anyway, yeah, you got questions. I'm on Twitter. Have a great night. I'll see you Wednesday at 5.